Hello, everybody. So we are back. Welcome back to When Starbucks Was Fun. This is episode 13. Ooh, lucky 13. I'm Adele Levine, one of your hosts. This is Jeff Hartman, your other host.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming.
And we are back. We took a little break, Jeff,
hmm
because do we have a reason?
I
I
think
think
we just got busy. Life got a little busy. We needed a little week of reprieve.
life got busy. I was going into school year round
hmm
as a mom, and Jeff was just frolicking around in the waters and in the sun,
I was,
just
yes,
frolicking.
having a family Barbie BBQ, as they like to say.
He was having a BBQ. And
hmm
so we just decided, let's just reset. It's better. I'm kind of getting back into the flow. It's always hard to get back into the flow because at first I think it's going to be easy. And then lunches have to be made and all
Yeah,
that stuff. So we got back into the flow. So we are here and we are
today,
back on the trail.
back on the track.
We're on
Because we're
Starbucks
back on
track.
the chain, yeah. Back on the chain
And
gang. For those of
and
you.
a lot has happened in Starbucks land.
Oh my goodness. We
Mhm.
this we I mean, we had already planned on doing this, but big news, big surge in the stock market.
Oh,
Holy Toledo.
yay.
Burritos.
I'm so happy for everybody. Yay. Awesome. Wow. I'm sure you're thrilled, Jeff. I'm sure you're thrilled.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you. Thank you. It was all
Anyway,
my decision. It was actually because of us.
we helped you. You're welcome, Starbucks. You're
So
welcome.
we'll just take our pay in stock. We're good. Adela will take the ones that she
I will take
lost.
cash and stock. Little cash. Little cash. Cash. Cash always
Cash
works.
cash is the king.
Cash is the king.
When
And
cash was king, when
when
the
cash.
bean was king.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're trying to be king again.
Well, this is what we were going to talk about.
Okay.
All these articles that we've been finding online recently
Mm-hmm.
dealing with how Starbucks before Thursday Tuesday whenever they hired that new guy whose name is Brian Nickel. I wrote it down. I
He's
like to
such a
write
good
things down.
researcher. He wrote it on paper.
He's the new CEO. His base pay is 1.6 mil. That doesn't seem very high, but
That doesn't seem very high.
no,
It's
not for a
true.
CEO, but he has like all these incentives where if he makes all these quotas or whatever they're called, I'm not a business person, then he gets like a 22% or 46% bump. I don't know, it's a lot.
Bonuses.
So
Yeah, he gets
there's a lot of
peaches.
bonuses at play. I think it's
Yeah.
something like 8.6 mil bonuses. That seems crazy.
Well,
Anyway,
the thing is, my question to you is, isn't he's the guy from Chipotle, right?
Chipotle, yes, they brought him from Chipotle because he turned them around. Remember when, well, because
Wait, back up. Did you just correct my pronunciation of Chipotle?
it's yeah, I did, Madeline. Mandolin. It's Chipotle. Let's try it again.
Chipotle. What
Uh,
did I say?
Chipotle. I don't even know what you said.
Chipotle. Oh,
Chipotle.
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 Okay. Anyhow,
Just for the record, I went to the Chipotle or Chipotle, whatever the fuck, in Ohio in like early 2000s before it ever came to LA.
mm,
So
do you
I
want a
can
medal
call
for
it,
that?
well, I get to call it whatever I
That
want.
gives you privilege to call it the wrong name. Oh God! Can we
Wow.
get the new Adela stand-in? I don't know if I can deal with this. I
You
need somebody who can speak.
It just what it
Yes.
reminds me when you said it? It reminds me of when I go to Costco, which by the way, during this podcast, I was like, hold on, because I had it delivered. Yes, bitches. Anyway, and I love because it's crazy on the weekends. I do not do weekend Costco. Anyway, so but you know how Costco goes, welcome to Costco. They always make sure to go Costco.
Well, they want to enunciate it, so it's not
That's
Costco.
you. That's you.
Costco.
That's what you're doing. You're like
Chipotle.
the Costco lady. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyway,
So,
yes.
so the guy worked for Chipotle. He turned it around because I don't know if you remember. Actually, I think I do remember you saying that
Mm.
you even got food poisoning from Chipotle a while back.
Oh, let me tell you something, Jeff. Wait, now we got to pause
Oh,
because
geez, here we
we
go. I
have to
opened the can of worms.
because the can of something because that was. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you the scene. I just got to set the scene for everyone. You walk in Chipotle, Chipotle,
Chipotle.
Chipotle,
You can't even say it right, even if you
Chipotle,
try.
Chipotle. I
There you
said it.
go.
I said it. I said
Okay,
it,
my mom used to
motherfucker.
call it. My mom used to call it Chipotle. So I
I like
mean,
your I'm gonna start homage to your mom. I'm calling it Chapato. So I walked into Chapato. Hey, homage. I walked into Chapato and I was like already looking at everything around. I was like, this might not be a good idea, Dela. It would they were
mm,
scraping the bottom with tin foil
no,
in the
no.
bucket thing, and I remember when they were just, like, primo. Everything
Yeah.
was, like, on point, so
Hmm.
fresh, so
Yep.
good, and he would scrape the meat, and I was like, "I don't think this is gonna be good." I was
Mm,
like, "Well, I'm starving." And
mm,
I have a nose and a taste. I don't have a sense of smell really weirdly, but I can smell and taste right away. I've known in my family where I'll just this is bad. Right away I'll know it's bad. I feel it like in my nervous system almost. It's
mhm.
hard to explain. And that is the only time and that night was fucking brutal. And that was from Chipotle, just saying.
Oh, Chipotle.
And
So
they yeah, so I
Chipotle put you on the pottle.
so bad.
Done.
Where
Mic
is
drop.
oh my god, where's my I don't have my mic. No, we need a mic drop for that one. Anyway, but my question to you is my question that I'm very confused about is
Yes.
why would they hire
Well, no, because what my point was before we went on the Chipotle
Okay.
sick stance is
Yes.
that when people were getting sick and like it was starting to get a bad reputation, they brought this guy in to fix it and make it better. And by him coming in, this Brian Nichols guy came in, it went two thumbs up instead of
Oh.
two thumb down the crapper.
I thought it
More
was
ways than
okay.
one. Oh,
Did you hear
thank
that,
you.
everybody? I got it.
Mm,
I got it.
okay,
There you go.
okay, okay.
Good
So,
job. We give them all the things. There
oh
you go,
god.
Jeff. All the things, all the things. Wait, not
Oh,
that
even
one.
a phone call. Hold on. Hello? Anyway, that was Brian Nichols calling me to thank me,
He
I
was
think.
like, "Thank you, Jeff. Thank you."
Here's
Yes.
some Chipotle points.
I didn't know that because I thought it was, like, as of late that they everyone was complaining about them.
No, this was like a few years ago, and then he sort of turned it
Oh.
around, and then it got better. So Starbucks is hoping by bringing in this person, like this fixer, that
Mhm.
he can sort of get it back on track because the last guy,
Did
the other
not.
thing is this Brian Nichols guy, Brian Nickel. I hope I'm pronouncing that. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Nick.
Brian, hey Bry.
Hey, Bri.
So he was hand he was interviewed by Howard Schultz. He met with Howard Schultz. Now Howard Schultz isn't on the board anymore or anything, but Howard Schultz gave him the stamp of
Stamp of
approval.
approval.
So they were like, okay. So, and here's the other thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to move to Seattle. He can keep,
Oh, snap.
they are allowing him to work from his home in Newport. Must be tough. Instead
Newport
of,
Beach?
yeah, Newport Beach, He's in Newport
Oh,
Beach,
okay. For
California.
everybody listening who are not from California, let us explain to you. When you watch TV shows and you're like, LA, ooh, LA and
Mm-hmm.
Malibu,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, ooh, Beverly Hills, mm-mm.
Newport Beach.
Newport, yeah, nothing compared to Newport. That is fucking
Clean, fancy,
money.
money. And he is down there because that's where the Chipotle head offices are. They're still there.
Oh,
So he's
I gotta put on
now,
lipstick for this.
I
Yes.
don't know if he's doing both,
Mm.
like if he's double dipping, but he's definitely coming back to Starbucks to kind of like bring it back.
What do you mean? Well, who's double dipping?
I don't know if he's staying as the CEO of Chipotle also.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think he
That wouldn't
can,
make sense though,
but
would
yeah,
it?
that's right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. I don't know why I even said that. I'm sorry, Brian. Um, but
I got your
yeah,
back, Brian. You could call me and
well, she can be
we can
paid in
hang
egg
out.
white bites. Egg white
I can,
bites will be her
no.
gold.
Listen, I love you, I go advice, but that shit ain't gonna fly. Listen, money, because you're living in Newport. I will meet you in Newport Beach. I know the perfect restaurant, and we
I
could
mean, I
talk.
know the perfect Starbucks, and so anyway, yeah. So he's like, and as soon as they announced it, the stock shot through the ceiling, like
I
20 bucks more a
saw.
share, and I was
Wow.
like, thank you, sweet siren of Starbucks.
Oh god.
Um,
I mean, I don't want to be rude because I'm happy for Jeff. Um,
double eye roll.
I mean, it's painful. It's painful, but
Well, some of us were
well, worried.
a little more financially smart. I'm just putting it there.
Some of us were very young and had no adults to help
Mm.
them.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Let's
Anyway,
not, you know.
we'll steer clear of that.
But to be fair, I was stupidly bashing the stocks. So
Because what did you used to say, Adela?
I used to say this.
Jeff,
No,
this is Egg White Bites. Why do you hate me?
boy, you had a lovely baritone bass in the
Yeah,
'90s.
no, we're not. We're not going there. We're not going there. I was doing the best I can. I was trying to survive my little ass in the world. I
Oh,
mean, maybe I thought I was against the corporate. I was
I know you were.
against. I, I, I have no. I really have no. It was bad.
It's
I
all
regret
good.
it, but it's
It's all
okay.
good. Yes.
Let's
So
move on. Let's move on.
up until this point, when they made this big decision,
Yeah.
Starbucks has not been getting very good press.
Okay.
It's not like the '90s Starbucks where everybody was like waiting in line, pounding on the doors.
Yeah. Of
We were
course.
open till 1 in the morning. It was all about coffee, 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 and maybe a croissant or,
Oh,
you
we
know,
forgot about that.
a
That's right.
scone, a
Yeah.
scone,
A scone.
a panettone, whatever.
Mhm.
It was like that was just to accompany a perfect cup of coffee, which was what the whole Starbucks mentality was. Then it became, in the article I was talking, another article was the whole third place, which I had talked to you about before. We had
Yes.
discussed about where it was
Now
like,
we've heard all about the third place over and over and over. It's
yes.
like we've been hearing about it in the news.
So it wanted to be the third place, and then they were interviewing. An interviewer was talking to them about like what happened to that, like why did that go away?
Mhm.
And the person was like, "Well, we like to think of the third place as more of an idea, like not a physical place, but a place in your heart or where you go to
Well,
get
yeah,
excellent
I
coffee."
have a theory on this. It's because, to be fair, like, people aren't hanging out in places like that anymore. People tend to be more, digital, more virtual. So they're trying to kinda move into that, like, they're trying to be more connecting with the younger generation that doesn't wanna sit in a Starbucks all day, and they're on their laptops and stuff like
Well,
that.
I think that there's a room for both.
Mm,
Because
I
they
disagree.
also have moved their ideas from a place to hang out
Yeah,
to drive-throughs.
I love the drive-thrus.
Oh my god, I know.
They are my
I
friend.
know. Can I get an
Thank
egg
God.
white bite and a salted caramel cold brew, please? I'm
That is
just
not
saying.
my drink, just saying.
You said you like the salted cold brew.
Oh, no, I haven't. I like the caramel, yeah, I haven't tried the salted, but that's
Oh,
true. I love yes, I love listen,
you're on the go.
I'm a busy lady, I got a lot of things juggling, I'm a mom, and you drop
I
off
gotta go.
the kid
I
at
gotta go.
school,
I
and
gotta
then
go.
the Starbucks is right there because 'cause they're not dumb. They're like, "Hey, parents, here's a Starbucks," and you pull right in, and you're like, "Hey, just dropped off the kid. Hey, can I get it?"
I
I'm not the only one.
I do understand, but I
Okay.
do think there are still people, and I'm not just talking about old people.
I think they're old people, Jeff. I
I
was just
don't
about to say, they're
know because
old
you go
people.
into like I have seen in my Starbucks, well, in all the
Okay.
Starbucks in my area that some
Mhm.
of which we visited,
Yeah.
there tends to be lots of like college students who go there to study and like hang out and like have coffee and stuff like that. I'm just saying there's
I
a
always see that it's
there's a
always the
place
older generation. When I go to
for
mine, it's
all of
all
us.
I see, like, even a whole table of old men that were hanging out and talking shit. I don't
Well,
see the
but
young people hanging
you
out.
live in an old folks home. So,
I think Jeff's in denial that I bet you let's make a wager. I bet you he's gonna come up with some new kind of like virtual like thing in the stores and kind of interacting with the virtual world.
we'll see.
AI and things like this. I bet
Like
you
there'll
he's
be a barista like robot behind the counter.
no, but I do feel that they're gonna kind of embrace some of that type of thing, and that way they can, like, make room for interaction when they do have interaction. I hope he's smart enough to get rid of all the do you think he's gonna, like I mean, he doesn't have does he have the background to think of, "Oh, we should get rid of all these drinks," and, anyway,
So that's the other
I'm
thing
jumping ahead.
in this
Yeah,
third place article that I read.
okay.
We'll finish with this. Howard Schultz, who started Starbucks,
Yeah.
one of the founding fathers of Starbucks, has said that he felt, in this article at least, that Starbucks needed to get back to its roots, which was amazing coffee.
He's
Not
been
focus,
saying that, though.
not coffee, not boba, not, frozen energy drinks and like that kind
Those
of stuff.
weird strawberry things that make it look like some cheap, like,
Yeah.
7-Eleven. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was his take on this in this article. Now, the
Okay.
other thing in a different article I read, Starbucks and McDonald's are both being snubbed because they've started increasing their
Prices
prices and the quality isn't any better.
going down.
So a lot of people are sort of taking it as I'm not going to support you. Why am I spending $6 on a cup of coffee?
Let
Like,
me tell you something, it's like 7 or $8 for a specialty coffee,
well, yeah.
or like a latte or something, like $8, go even pushing up to 9.
Well, if you think about it, if somebody's going to come in on their way to work, most people are
Mhm.
going to buy a coffee and I guess, a sandwich, egg white bites, whatever the hell they want.
Egg white bites, Jeff.
Bagels,
Jeff,
croissant.
this is Egg White Bites. Why do you hate me?
I didn't mean to push that one, but that's
Because
okay.
you're disgusting.
I did not mean to. I apologize.
Is that the only soundbite you have today? I'm just seems to be guiding your finger a lot. Oh, let's talk about the third place. This is Egg White Bites. Why do you hate me?
It's like my only
What
answer to everything. Does he know anything else
happening?
about Starbucks?
So
Okay,
anyway,
no,
there,
sorry.
yes. So what I was saying was people
It's
who are
okay,
coming.
Jeff. We'll get to all the things. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I know you have your list, but don't worry.
What
We're
I'm
having a
saying
good time. Yeah.
about the drive-through, about the prices
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
you know, $3 for a croissant or, a
It's
muffin,
ridiculous
and then $6 for you're not out of there before you spend $10 usually.
for sure.
And
If more.
this brings me to this idea that we
Uh-oh.
haven't even touched on, and had nothing
Uh-oh.
to do with these articles.
Okay.
In the 90s, let's go back.
In the 90s.
In the
Woo.
90s, when we were 20 years old in the 90s. So, in the
Ah,
90s,
I'm back here now. Okay.
hold on, I have to pull my hair back. It's so long right now.
Hold on, I have to, like, tighten these clothes because 'cause I'm so skinny. Go ahead.
Okay. So back in the 90s,
Yeah.
we lived on our tips were huge to us,
Yeah.
remember? Like,
Yeah.
and then one of the
It was. We would, like, we would hound the because there was one person,
well, it
one
was a ship supervisor.
shift supervisor who would have to add up all the tips, and they
Bill
divided it by
them.
your hours, and
Yep.
we had a per hour amount,
Yes.
and whatever, if you worked 20 hours and it was like $2 an hour,
Yeah.
you got that money. And we would be like, where's my money,
Yeah.
bitch?
That would be my
Where's
spending money. Like,
That
that would
was
be
like
this.
our extra money. We're like,
Yeah,
we're going to the
exactly.
club tonight. Where's my $50?
We going to the club, the club, the club. Mm, mm,
Mm,
mm,
mm,
mm, mm,
mm,
mm,
mm,
mm. I
mm,
don't know
mm.
if we went to those kind of clubs.
We did go to clubs. We went to WeHo. We went to West
We did.
Hollywood.
We did. So, point being that the tips now, like, there's a tip jar, but most people are using an app or a credit card. So what happens? Do you think that tips are being absorbed and, like, somehow they're separating the tip from the, because you can act like, I always get a message on my app when I order, would you like to adjust your total for the tip? And it's like, okay, but how are they actually it's just, I wonder if it's eaten into their tips.
Maybe they add up, like, there's a separate, how even back, people, we didn't talk about this, Jeff, but even in the 90s, it was kind of amazing how we could pull up on a flat screen and we could see, like, how many blueberry muffins we sold,
Oh yeah.
how many, this we
Printouts.
sold, how many ad whip, all of that was,
Mhm.
and that was then. So I'm sure
Yeah.
they have a whole tip log, and they probably get that money.
I
Get
just
that
wonder if
money.
they get, like, a separate check, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I
I
bet
don't
it's
know.
digital. It's definitely not in a Starbucks pastry bag, which is how we got our tips before,
With our
where we
name
would
in Sharpie on
with
it.
our name or Sharpie on it, and taking all the tips from the box and then pouring it into it, and then
Oh my god, it took
dating them. We would
forever.
put, like, we would pour them into a pastry bag, roll it, use, like, one of the bean, like, stickers and
Stickers,
sticker,
mhm.
and we would go, "Here's the tips for this week." And then when we actually got our tips, they were just, like, I think in an envelope, handed
Yeah,
it to us
yeah.
cash. I'm sure they are having something more sophisticated, but we would love to know from Deep Roast.
Oh, Deep Roast. Good old Deep Roast. We'll
Ask
have to
Deep
ask Deep
Roast.
Roast what they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, what's the tip thing? Yes,
Tips,
jot it down, Deep Roast.
tips. Because you make fun of me when I take notes.
Well,
Anyway.
I mean,
So, yes.
it's just the way, because
So
you feel a little bit,
so
you
the
know.
Starbucks, yeah, so people are kind of not abandoning, but they're not as popular as they used to be, mainly because the cost is so high. I mean, look at,
Mhm,
like, okay, so the value meals, right? We talked
mhm.
about this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. $5 for, like, a croissant and a tall iced coffee or something. Gone. Took it away. They
Yeah,
stopped it.
the article, there was an article came out that said they silently, and I think it had to do with us because we said some shit about it. And by the way, I've been checking the LinkedIn just to update everybody.
Mhm.
Nada, zilch, nothing. Only one person I liked a comment I put on one of the alumni comments.
Hmm.
Nothing. Howard
Interesting.
Schultz did not get back to me. He did not. I mean,
He's been in meetings with this Brian Nickel guy, so maybe now he might reach out. Maybe he's
you're
like,
right.
those two old baristas know what's going on.
You're right. I think
That's
he read my email and he was like, what a nice woman. Poor thing. Didn't get stalked. Didn't. I'm gonna help her out, but I have some. It's on my to do list.
yes. One thing at a time.
Sure.
One thing at a time.
Sure, Howard.
But the
Howie.
value meal, they
Yes.
just sort of, it just evaporated. It's got not gone. The article, I think you said it to me, and I was like, "That's so weird." And they're like, "Well, it's just that sometimes we offer things and then we take them off the app, but it's not supposed to be forever." And I'm like,
Yeah, there's some bullshit.
"That's some corporate double talk,
Bullshit.
walking it around the corner, not even making
Mhm.
sense."
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I was definitely looking because I knew this shit was coming up, so I was looking for a bullshit sound effect. I couldn't find one.
How
So
about
we'll
this?
have to bullshit.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Come on, they figured it out that it looked tacky, it looks stupid. All of a sudden now they're just running. It's like they're trying to get McDonald's to like them. Like, we're like you, we're like you. We have combos too. Do you like us? Are we friends
Well, they called it a value meal, and it was like,
now?
it wasn't
Mm,
that much of a value. It was a like, and that was the other thing that people were saying about these value meals. They weren't calling them val they were calling pairings.
pairings.
Same diff, same idea. But you go
Trying to
like
sound like they're wine and cheese or something.
but you go to McDonald's, and they have,
Yeah.
like, a $5 value meal, and you get, like, a sandwich, fries, McNuggets, and a drink.
Jeff, I don't wanna be rude, but I think you're out of date because it is not like that at McDonald's
No, it
anymore.
is. It is.
No, no,
Yes, yeah. Adela.
not today.
Yes. They have something like a $7 value meal or something like that. Look it
All
up, dude.
over the internet, people have complained, and I've been to McDonald's, and it's like 10, $12, 13, $14
Maybe
for
in
meals.
California it is because of the increase in the
I've just seen all
prices.
these videos on TikTok where people are like, "What the hell?" That's why people are not wanting to go to McDonald's. The meals aren't like that anymore. So that's what's funny is that McDonald's and Starbucks is people are kind of pushing back and
Yeah.
going, "This fuck this
Like,
bullshit."
if we're gonna charge us that much, give us something worth that
Right. Like, what the
much.
hell are you guys thinking?
I mean, let's face it, an iced coffee, I love my iced coffee. Half of it's ice.
Little taster size.
Little taster size ice.
Little taster size. We did a
Can I
little
get a
taster
little
size
taster
sound
size
effect.
ice?
Little taster.
Um,
That's an homage to you, Robert.
oh, Robert. So yeah, so before this new guy came in, this new
I'm sorry, this is a delayed laughing about how good you imitate it. That's
oh, I don't know. Can I get a little taste size?
because if you saw him, Jeff's nailing it. That's exactly how he was. I just had this delay
Poor guy.
because then I just remember
We,
how
we,
we would all like do it, but we loved him. But it
we
was
did.
like
And
it was a
Rob Cox
character.
was always like, here you go, man. Give him like a venti. I
He's
don't
like,
even know.
here's a
Did we
bit.
have ventis?
No, grande.
Grandes?
Yeah,
Coffee of the day.
yeah,
Anyway, what I was gonna say is Brian Nichols, this guy,
yeah.
all of a sudden the stock goes through the roof. But before this, stock was down 23%.
Whoa!
A
So
lot.
they really are believing he's gonna be the
Savior.
Jesus? He's the
He's
savior?
he's the Starbucks savior.
He's the Starbucks savior.
Yep. The Starbucks savior.
He's like, "I have arrived. I did it for Chipotle." No,
Wah, wah.
Chipotle.
Lay.
It just
Chipotle.
sounds terrible.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Just say Chipotle.
Chipotle. I did it for Chipotle, and I have arrived. I will save your Starbucks. And they were like, "Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, Bry.
Oh,
Oh,
Brian,
Bry.
please
Now,
save us."
Brian, if you want to be
Mhm.
on our show, I mean,
Brian, we are open to helping you out because I think we know a little bit more about coffee than you do.
I'm
Just
just
saying.
saying.
Just
Just
saying.
saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Why do you have to get the last word?
Just saying.
Just saying. Okay. So, but here's an interesting little twist. Not
Yes.
twist, but like a idea that
Okay.
you sent me the article about also.
I sent Jeff. I just put. I just
You're like,
like
send.
just said to Jeff because
5
I
in the
know
morning, I'm like, I am not reading this shit.
poor Jeff because I like thinking you have your phone off for one and for two. I'm like he's gonna be good at being the research and he'll put it all together. And I'm like I found that you know why? Because Google just
Loves, yeah,
loves me because they've our
same.
podcast and I say the word Starbucks 50 million times and post Starbucks.
Like,
So they're like, you must live Starbucks. So I
this
get like
person must like
every
Starbucks. This
single
person
update of
must like
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Beep, beep,
We
beep.
must send her Starbucks. She loves Starbucks. 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 And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
And
crazy logarithm.
yes,
Algorithm?
algorithm.
Log? What's
See,
the
this is why
logarithm?
I don't know.
I need some more.
I
This is just water, guys. I swear. Um, anyway,
I need what he's having. Okay, go ahead.
so this new path forward, they're trying to before this guy took over. This is all prior to last
Okay.
week. Is they were trying to come up with different ways of like getting more people in Starbucks, and one of them is um, partnering with Mercedes Benz to put EV chargers
I
at all
saw
these
that.
Starbucks. Well, you sent me the article, darling. So
I did?
where are we? Are we at
Is it
Disneyland?
because I sent him so many articles, I've lost track. I
It's a
just
good
kept
thing one of
hitting.
us is organized.
Um, I think
Chipotle.
I think somebody helped organize this podcast. Oh,
She ain't lying, y'all. She ain't lying. Okay, so Mercedes and Starbucks partnering to put in a EV station at Starbucks. I think it's a great idea. Now, what is
yes.
that going to mean? Because right now their whole focus is in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And they even talked in that article, not the previous article, about how some are just grab and goes. And we witnessed that with
Yeah.
the Ventura Vantage store, not
Yeah.
Ventura Vantage, that was our store, Ventura Alco store,
Yeah.
that now it's like, mostly back room and like a kitchen or whatever. And the inside is like 3 feet or 5 feet and then a counter.
Mhm.
So right now their whole focus is like drive through, get in, get out, pick up windows and all that jazz. And all that jazz. You're welcome. So but the Starbucks and the idea of putting in EV stations, now they're going to have more land. I mean,
Yeah.
more, there's going to have to be a bigger
Lounging.
footprint. And they're
Yeah.
going to have to bring back the idea of a third place because if people are charging their cars for an hour,
They're going to hang out there.
they're going to hang out there and they're going to want to eat more and buy more coffee. So
Mhm.
I think the shift is if they do this, the shift will go back to that old way of thinking of like, I'm going to charge my car. Starbucks are safe. Andy has even touched on this that like even in certain areas where maybe it's not as
People feel like safe. They feel like that's a safe spot.
so they're going to have Starbucks with larger parking lots
Mhm.
that people can and they need to do more indoor outdoor stuff. Like not many Starbucks have a lot of outdoor seating and I think that is a missed opportunity. Mark my words, Brian Nickel, especially in California.
Missed opportunity.
Missed don't build a patio with like a little if you don't want people's hanging out in the store, maybe a little patio that's covered and has nice cushy furniture, not cushy, but cushiony
Yeah.
furniture. If they're waiting for their car to be charged.
I feel like that that's probably one of the I think they're going to try to come up with different plans. I bet he'll come up with different plans according to the area. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like according to the area. So like if
You
it's
piqued
like
my interest, Adela.
well, thank you.
Please do talk more.
I will. So what I feel is that as it's like different areas, so like if they're kind of in a college area, then they'll
Mm.
try to make it more like, hey, we have like virtual stuff and we have kind of interactive stuff that like we're kind of getting more digital. If they're in a suburban area, then they'll have like it feel more friendly and stuff. Because if you notice Chipotle,
Lay. Mm.
which I still don't feel that's right. Chipotle. Oh, you're right. It is right. Chipotle. So Chipotle, that does
I'm
that
losing my patience.
does roll off the tongue. Okay. Um, they do. If you notice, if you go listen, when you're a telepathic communicator, words they mean nothing.
I mean
They mean
nothing.
nothing to me.
Nothing. Zero
Nothing.
zip zilch
Zero.
nada. Okay, so you were
So
saying.
if you notice, if you go into them, they all are like a little different. I have noticed they all are, they don't make them look cookie cutter in the sense of they all have a different feel. And I
Mhm.
feel like it always depends on like where they are. They all kind of look uniform and they have the same,
Idea.
obviously the same look. I think the problem with Starbucks is they started doing this thing where they would go, "Oh, here's a bank. Let's just put a Starbucks in there," and it wouldn't even change the sign. Like when we were with them, it was never like that. They would make sure
Yeah.
every single one looked looked like the Starbucks. They were just slapping Starbucks signs on
Hmm.
to
Right.
the old bank sign. They didn't even change out the sign. Didn't get a new one. And I get the feeling
Is
they're
this
gonna
Security Pacific Bank or is this
I think it's
Starbucks?
Starbucks. They were like, "It's fine, ma'am. Just ignore the
Would
ATM
you like a roll
machines."
of quarters with your
Yeah.
latte?
They're like, "Ignore the ATM machines. It's fine. Just order your drink." And she's like, "I'm confused." But that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like that's what I think they're gonna because Chipotle does do that. They kind of like I've been in ones that I'm like, "Ooh, this is very like hip," and it's in a hip
Mm,
area.
mhm,
And then I've been in ones that are very like, you just go in, you get your stuff, there is seating, but you could tell it's kind of more suburban where
mhm,
families are coming in to pick up their food and go. So that's what I bet he'll do because that's smart because then maybe that one they're like, "Oh, we'll have where it's kind of an air like a people are on the go traveling like an in
mhm.
between. So there's a
Like on the
Starbucks."
freeway, like
Right.
next to a gas station.
Right. So they're like,
You know.
we'll like, we'll put up those charging stations. We'll make that one more like friendly for people to hang around in and kind of lounge a little bit. So I bet that's probably what he's going to do because I definitely feel like Chipotle does that. Because I've been to different ones and they don't all look the same. They all look the same, but they all have a different vibe.
They vibe different,
Yeah,
but
according
they
to
have the
what's
same
going
idea.
on. I've been to ones that are like, "Oh, this one's like really hipster, cool
Mhm,
thing."
mhm,
And I
mhm.
think that they kinda did that for a few of them, but man, Starbucks sure did get into that really bad habit. Like,
Uniform, yeah.
not even uniform, just not even like chain like I said, just slap the sign on and, not even try to
Well, I
like
will say that when we worked there, it didn't feel as sterile as it does now.
it's
Now
very
now it just
sterile.
feels very, like,
Yeah.
sterile, and I think, with the not having a condiment bar anymore, which is so still fucking weird to me. Um,
But
the
that's my point. The condiment bar, there's 2 things I wanted to say. One I wanted to say and then one I wanted to ask you. The condiment bar, they just like went no condiment bar and they didn't even try. That's my point. Is they didn't
right,
even go, let's get rid of the whole bar. Let's put a whole new thing here. They
right.
were just like, "Oh no, we're just going to stick some nothing there."
Yeah, yeah.
And that's like tacky for Starbucks. That was not their thing. Their thing was always high end,
Yeah.
high like it so, and the other thing the thing I wanted to ask you is this is why I was confused about him coming from Chipotle because he he got all over the internet, all over TikTok. Everyone was making fun of him because people were saying the portions are smaller. The
Mm,
portions are smaller, and
mm.
everyone was like, "This is bullshit. We're not getting a lot of our food. The portions are smaller. What's going on?" And he got trashed all over online and his answer to that was, "Well, just, do a little like a nod, like give me a little more." And people were like, "That's your answer to it?" And so he got trashed. I feel like is that's the same guy because it's the guy who was the CEO of
I don't know.
Chipotle.
I
And
don't know.
then and everyone was trashing him. So I was surprised they picked him because people were like, "Really? That's your answer to the we're complaining that you guys are making your portions smaller?"
Well, maybe he talked a good game. Maybe he was a good interviewee, you
I
know?
think by that point, it's a little more than your interview. When you have the whole internet trashing you, what is your answer? "Well, I did make the portion smaller. That's why they make more money now." Bam.
Slap.
Slap.
I don't
He's
know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I don't know the man's history as much as, I'd
look
like.
it up on see all the TikToks and all the reels and all the internet making fun of him.
But I do think that what you're saying is an interesting idea that maybe they will have the grab and goes like in the faster paced areas
Right.
like downtown and stuff like that. And
Right.
then the places in the urban areas or
Slower.
suburban areas, it'll
Right,
be more
right.
like, oh, here's some EV chargers. Maybe they'll
Mhm.
do, who knows? They could do a Starbucks playground.
Well,
There you go, people. Starbucks playground.
oh,
Well,
no.
sirens, that kind of. I mean, they did take them out of McDonald's, right?
Yes, they did.
Is it an insurance thing, you think?
It's a safety gross thing, and there was a lot of problematic things
Mm,
happening,
okay.
like needles being founded or
Oh,
creepy people being there around kids, just the usual creepville, like, factor of the world.
you want some fries,
Like,
children?
going down the slide? Yeah, so it's like so they got rid of it, but I could see I just kinda got this idea, like, if they're smart, which I feel they're gonna do, they'll
Yeah.
have charging stations because that's what a lot of smart coffee shops do.
Hmm.
Because it does feel like they were
What do you
kinda
mean
putting
when you say chart? You mean for your iPad and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, like, at the table, you can, like, have, like,
Hmm.
USB
Yeah.
charger, that type of thing, because I think it's weird that they never did that, and it does seem like they were encouraging people to, like, get your shit and go, because if they really do wanna create, like, more people buying stuff and people kinda hanging out but, Starbucks has always been funny like that because they've always, like, wanted people to hang out, but then they've always, like, they wanna make sure you're not taking up space if you're not paying or
Right.
something, so it's like a weird
It's a
thing, but
weird dichotomy.
I think in areas, like I said, areas that are a little nicer,
Mm.
college areas, places
Newport
that
Beach, maybe.
Newport Beach, Brian. We'll be checking out the Newport Beach Starbucks because I bet you'll have all kinds of shit.
Gold chandeliers.
You're gonna have charging stations. You'll say, "Here's some free hey, how about a free from some free beans as you go?" Like, he'll just, like, do it up because it's Newport Beach.
You know what would be really interesting is if Starbucks started having like this is gonna sound weird, but
What?
like pods, like you could like pods in the Starbucks that you could like not rent, but you could like sort of seclude yourself in,
It's
like
not
a
weird at
like
all.
a booth, but
I
not a
have
booth.
literally on another podcast that I do have talked about this and on my Instagram that I foresee these pods happening. So yeah, I think you're right. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like
Like instead of having like communal like tables
mhm,
everywhere, like they'll section it off and
that's what
have
I'm saying. Like there might
like a slider where people can actually use it as an office or to hang
or
out.
just even to kind of like put up like
Yes.
sides and you can sit
Yes.
there and then you have a charging
Yes.
station
Yes.
and then that way like they
Starbucks.
uh,
Hello, Starbucks. Are you listening?
yes. Are you?
Because
We're
that's
brilliant.
I mean,
Brilliant.
are we on their payroll? Fine.
Um, did you know why haven't you even called us yet? We are waiting for you to call us. Like, hello, hello, Starbucks.
Starbucks corporate, can I help you?
Yeah, this is Adela, and I'd like to say we're fucking brilliant, and why haven't you hired us yet? Anyway, we're very
But
graciously
I
saying
think
these things.
that's an really interesting idea. Like
Mhm.
especially maybe downtown if they have like a
Right.
for example, another article I read. Segue is the one in Manhattan that you sent me the TikTok thing. It was a Astor Place in Manhattan.
Being
They
closed.
closed it and it was like had been there for 30 years,
Right.
which sort of feels like the Sherman Oaks store is now this.
Yeah, they're getting rid of old stores. I've been there
So,
forever.
and maybe it's because they couldn't refashion it the way they wanted to, but apparently this Astor Place store was right at a subway exit, and it was always busy, according to the people they interviewed on the street. Word on the
Right.
street was it
Yeah,
was
well,
always
Astro
busy.
I could tell you from living in New York, that's in Queens, and that is a very Astro place. That is a bit busy, like, stop because yeah, I
Yeah, and they
believe
said
that.
that it was always busy. There was
Believe that's
always
Queens.
people in there. It was always people hanging out,
Mhm.
and it closed without any notice. That all of a sudden they went to get off the subway. I'm gonna get a latte. No, I'm
They
not,
didn't
because
give
it's
them
not
any
there. No
notice?
notice. All of a sudden, one day, the sign's up, we're closed. Yeah, so it's kind of sad because
Wow,
at a
that's
place
weird, that's weird.
like that,
Yeah,
because it was in like one of those cool old high rises, from what I recall on the article in the little snippet you sent me,
yeah.
is that they could easily have potted. I don't know if that's the right word. Sectioned it off and to have like their own little separated things, and
Yeah.
maybe maybe Starbucks needs to like change its model a little bit, and maybe the baristas bring the coffee to the doors. Like, here's your
Oh,
latte. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Kind of a good idea.
I mean, that I don't feel like they even have to bring it to the door. I don't feel like it has to be a door, but I feel like it just could almost just be like a little like divider so
Mm.
that in the divider you kind of because they don't they it wouldn't be safety would be a bad thing. You can't have people closed in
No, but
there.
it could be like a glass, like floor to ceiling glass, like in a conference room where you like can see people in there. It's not like they can do anything
Yeah,
nefarious or shoot up or
people get
something.
stuck or they just would never wanna do a thing. They're already weirded out about bathrooms, but I could see it being what you're saying, like, where there's, like, a divider thing. I feel like they could still stand in line and get their coffee and everything, but they could even, like, rent them. They
Almost
could
like a
even
booth. Like a
they
booth
could
kind of.
they could even rent them, but if they were smart, they wouldn't because that would
Yeah,
be tacky.
that would be tacky. It would
But
need to
I
be for customers.
But it would be an incentive to stay there and buy more stuff. But I feel like in general, they have to kind of like come up with the times and say, okay, here's a place where you can like plug your phone in. Here's a place where you could plug your laptop in.
Mhm.
Here's a place
To
where
plug your car.
you could even order your coffee from there and then go pick it up and
Well, that
just
was
sit
the other
down.
thing I was gonna say, because I had talked to you about going to McDonald's back in March. Never do I go to McDonald's. Never have I ever recently.
Sure.
Seriously. Don't eat red meat, so why would I?
Oh, you
Um,
don't? I didn't know that. I just learned a new fact about you. You don't eat red
listen,
meat. Okay.
or pork, or fish,
Do you not
or
like meat
eggs.
in
Mm,
general?
I eat chicken and turkey.
Okay, so you
I'm
don't
like what I call myself a
what is it?
poultritarian.
An ultratarian? Poultritarian?
Poultritarian.
Oh, that's good. I like
I
it.
don't think that's a real word, but I'm coining it right now. You heard it
I
here
s
first,
It's
people.
here, so if you hear anybody stealing it, fuck them. Okay, go ahead.
Copyright infringement down. Okay.
Trademark pending. Okay.
But oh, so what I was gonna say is, do you think it's ever gonna happen, or maybe they'll do like a test run where people aren't taking your order? All the people behind the counter are doing is making the drinks, calling
Yes,
them out,
100%.
and heating the whatever the pastry
That's what I'm
egg
trying to
bite
say.
thing.
I feel like that's the direction they're gonna move towards in a lot of stores. That way you can just, like, enter it in there. That cuts a lot of the labor out.
So like the mobile app that we have, it
Right,
would be
but
like
there'll
big
be, like, a big
iPads.
screen, yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I think that's kind of good, but it's also kind of sad because it
Well,
takes
the
away from the human interaction.
Yeah, but we're moving the world's moving fast. This is the way it's going. Like,
Yeah.
so I can see that, but if you create an atmosphere, you're just all you're doing is making that part faster. And then when people are giving you the drink, there is time for them to talk to you. There
Got
is
it.
time for because the drink's already in.
Mhm.
So I feel like they're going to find a way to cut down everyone having to do everything for sure.
Mhm.
Because the one thing I will say about Chipotle is that they definitely like that was their thing back in the day, at least, that they would stand behind and they were like, "What do you want?" And that was
Right.
the whole experience.
Sort of like Subway, but with
And it
Mexican
kinda
food.
yeah, it was definitely Subway, but, you know, burritos,
Higher,
hi
higher end.
higher end, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they don't kind of change that feeling that you're just getting your stuff thrown at you, it's they're gonna continue to have problems because that's the main problem.
Yeah. There's no, and I think part of it is because there's these baristas are so overworked. They're doing so many different things. They've cut labor as Deep Roast has told us, they keep cutting labor to save on costs, and then you have one person making all these drinks, and you have to engage the person. You know, Mark, your drink's ready. Tim's, your drink's ready. Adela, your drink's ready. But
Right.
they don't have like we used to be able to like, oh, how you doing? Here's your grande non-fat latte. Oh, thank you. How's it going today? Oh, good. When you sort of talk, but you also didn't have a ticker tape. Yes, I said ticker tape again.
Ticker
A
tape.
ticker tape of orders spitting
For
out at
those of
you.
you who don't know what a ticker tape is,
We
I don't
already
even
talked
remember.
about this
What is a ticker tape again?
back in 1914.
I don't have the music cued for Jeff.
Well, geez,
I
which
couldn't remember the name of the song again.
but we get a new person, please.
It's called Magic something.
Magic Tree.
I forgot to ask you the name of the song. I
That's
apologize.
okay. It's all right. My point being
Yeah,
that there was you have orders coming from the mobile app that are spitting out stickers. You got people in a driveway that are spitting out stickers. You
yeah.
got people in the cafe that are spitting. So it's very hard to engage in a conversation with somebody because nowadays everything's so
Well, the
and
thing is that I mean, we had only like the basic drinks to be fair, so it made it
true.
much easier. And I
That's
do
what I'm
feel
saying.
like they have to look at the menu and decide because the one thing they never changed at Chipotle, they didn't add anything. They didn't add any crazy. I think they added
Well,
like
they did add new
a
stuff,
couple of things.
but it wasn't out of the realm of coffee. Like
No, and it was very
it's not
like
like they were like,
basic.
"Hey, now we're offering chow mein." You know what I
No, they were
mean?
they kept it in the range and it was like 1 or 2 things.
Yes.
It
Like
wasn't like this, like Starbucks looks like, a pick me girl that's like, "How about this? Do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this too?
right,
Do
right,
you love us
right.
again?" I mean, it was
Yeah.
just like, it's bad.
Do you like boba? We're gonna have it now.
We have boba. We
We
have
love
it
boba.
too. We have like these summer refreshing drinks that no one knows what the fuck's going on. It's like
You like Red Bull?
ridiculous.
Well, we're gonna create something like that too.
It's very weird, and
Schizophrenic. It's a little
if
schizophrenic.
they don't, like, pare it back down, and oh, sorry about that, and
I don't know what that was.
here you go, you can describe the ticker
A
tape.
ticker tape parade was famous at the end of World War II
What?
when the soldiers came home and had a parade. And
Oh,
streams
that's
of
right!
paper came flying through the sky.
Wow.
It was magic.
Sounds exciting, Grandma. Okay, well, today we have iPhones, Grandma. Okay, good night.
Your eye has a phone? That's terrible. What kind of a freaks are you now? You're like, hello? Hi,
Would
guys.
be that would be funny if someone doesn't understand it, that's what they would imagine, that's
Hmm.
true. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
anyway,
Anyway, so we
yes, so
feel
Chipotle,
that
you are correct. Chipotle had added like, burrata or like pulled
Mhm.
pork or whatever, but they haven't added like,
And it was
we're gonna
very
do
little things,
chicken
very
chow
little.
mein today, or we're gonna do eggplant parmesan. It's like they stick
Yeah,
in their
too
wheelhouse.
many things.
And that's the thing that I think Starbucks is flailing a little bit on is that instead of just having excellent coffee beverages that everybody who wants excellent coffee will
The
go
problem
to.
is that Starbucks used to be, people still love their Starbucks,
Mhm.
people still, like, wanna go get their Starbucks, and that's still a thing, this is true.
Where's my Starbucks?
See, people still love their
She's
Starbucks.
still going in.
She's still going in. But do feel like people are starting to kinda shift towards, other, things and not having the same feeling about it because it definitely feels like there's no, um, what's wanna say? There's no, like,
Emotional.
personality or
Oh,
anything. It
yeah.
just
It's a
feels
little
like you
sterile.
yeah, it's
Like,
very sterile.
it's a very sterile, like, experience, whereas
And you could just
before
get that anywhere if you're
yeah.
that's the thing, like, when people start figuring out, well, oh, there's a local coffee shop by me that does it just as well, I mean, Starbucks still is king of doing it faster for
Yeah.
sure,
Mhm.
and probably more efficient for sure.
Right.
Because I think that's what happens. Like today, I went to this great new little space. They do coffee, they do smoothies, and it's like healthy food, and I can tell they're like developing a chain, and it's really great. But they were really slow, and
Mm,
I found myself getting impatient because I was like, "Hello, like this is taking a lot longer than I
yeah.
thought," and they're like, really, it's not their fault or anything, but that's what Starbucks has down is that system
Just
down.
quickness.
But the
But even more
problem
so
is
but
they're losing it.
even more
Yeah.
so than when we were and
Oh,
we were fucking
sure.
fast. I mean, we were fast, but
We
and
were
we had to
fast.
be because we never knew when a secret shopper was gonna enter the building and, if we were having a bad day or it was a busier day or whatever, or we hadn't gotten out to do a lobby check or all that
We
shenanigans we
also
had to
kinda
do.
like we were it was we there was only, like, the basic drinks, and we were kinda having fun with how fast could we be, how
Right.
efficient can we be. We kinda saw it as, like, a game at the time,
But
in
now
a sense.
everything is with the push button and the
Well, the
self-steaming.
stickers on there, when they went to just, like, putting the stickers on us, they don't even write the names anymore. That's not even a thing
No.
anymore.
And they don't and I'm gonna keep saying that when you write stuff, you remember it. It's been scientifically proven that when you're writing something, you remember it better because it's a whole thing, mechanical thing. And I think when we would write people's names when we started writing people's names on cups, I was still there.
I wasn't
and
there for
and
that.
you sort of started getting to know them. But even before that, when they would come in like and get a grande non-fat latte or whatever, I we always that's always the one we used as an example.
I know.
But when it's okay, a grande hazelnut mocha. Let's try something different today. Uh,
Raspberry mocha
we
was
would
my drink.
we would always, if they had come in a lot, we would eventually find out their name, be like, "Oh, what's your name?" And also, at Starbucks now they're wearing name tags. You notice that?
What? Oh,
Yeah,
hell no.
they have
No,
name
I would
tags
quit.
on
I
them.
mean, that's it. You don't need to know
Yeah.
my name, weirdo. No.
See, and my point is, well, that's kind of nice because then they can call your name and
But,
then you get to
you're
know
not a
somebody.
woman, okay?
You're
You're
right. You're
not
right.
if
I can never say I've ever walked a day in
okay, so I can
women's
tell you
clothing. Yes, as a woman, no.
I could tell I could tell you as a young woman who worked that job how many men hit on me and also felt like they could just like do that because you're stuck behind a counter and you have to be nice to them and you have to serve so if I would fucking hate it if some
But
fucking asshole
nowadays,
was like, "Oh,
do you
hello, Adela."
But do you think it's changed a little bit though? I mean, like,
No.
do you think that like we become more aware that that's not cool
No.
to
I hear
do?
girls talk about it all the time. It has
Mm,
not changed,
okay.
Jeff. It
I,
hasn't.
I believe the children are the future.
And I'm just trying to say that I think the only thing that's changed is when you complain about it, they have to take it
Well,
seriously.
now, what if you just put a different name?
You better fucking believe I'd be putting a different name.
Your name would have been like Sassy.
I would just
That's
be
my real name.
I would just be like, "My name is trash and don't even look over here."
No, your name is Trouble. That's
Trouble.
what it would have been.
Make it a double. Yeah, I'm
Double
telling you that
trouble.
I had a man one time say, I said, would you like a biscotti?" And he's like, "I'll eat it out of your hand."
Ah, disgusting.
Yeah. And I was like and then his friend was like, and I was like, "What did you say?" "Oh, never mind." And I was like, "You fucking asshole." And I mean, I had a guy hand me his number,
Oh,
while they're
geez.
paying. So I just feel like I don't like that, but I mean, maybe I'm just a little bit, especially in today of now it'd be even worse to me in social media, especially my name
True.
is unique.
True.
All I got to do is tap in your name and
Right.
my face comes up. I
It's not
mean,
like your name's Stacy
creepy, like
or
creepo.
Heather
Or you
or
could just type in Stacy and try to look for one that, like, is for the one you saw, like,
well,
the area she works in.
yeah, you could go Stacy at Starbucks and then
Listen,
like
Starbucks, bad idea.
Well, I think they're trying to make it a port.
This is
I
okay.
don't think they thought it through. Let's put it that way.
I
And let's
think
be
that's
honest,
true.
the
Yeah.
CEOs have all been men. So, I mean, you're
Um,
not wrong.
what do
That
we say to Starbucks when they need to listen, Jeff?
uh Starbucks. Hello. Are you listening?
Thank you. Thank you. Are you listening? Because I think you clearly missed the mark and you're not thinking this through. This is a land of social media. People don't really want to wear name tags. That's like fucking old school. Come
It is
on.
old school.
Get
I
with the
remember working at when
times.
when I worked at the bank before. Well, I also worked at Starbucks. Originally, it was your first name. Then they put your first and last name and your birthplace. Like yeah, I'm telling you. And I said to them, "Why is my birth city?" Because I guess the whole thing was nobody's born in LA. Well, I was. I'm from LA. I'm from the California coast, and
Same
it was.
here, baby. And that's why we are so awesome, so
I'm just
unique. You
saying,
just grow us
native
this way. Thank you. Thank
Californians.
you. Yes. Okay, go on.
So they put it on there, and I was like, "Why does it say this?" And they're like, "Oh, well, it's a good conversation starter." And I'm like, "I don't need a conversation starter with customers, like,
Yeah.
especially at a bank." They're like, "Cash my check." I'm like, "Okay, can I see your ID? Boop 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 boop. Here's your money. Bye." I don't need them to be like,
Yeah,
"Burbank,
you're not on
California. What does that
display.
mean?"
Oh, were you born in hey, young lady,
Yeah,
are you from
exactly.
Texas? Ooh,
Oh,
I like a
Amarillo,
rodeo be
Texas. Where's
I
that
like to
from?
ride your horse. I just know this kind of terribleness,
Yes,
so I'm
yes,
thinking
yes.
like a woman. Ladies, if you're listening, let me know if you agree with me, but also it's kinda old school and they're kinda going the wrong direction, like, that's just not modern.
Yeah, it's a little, and it's a like a it looks like a little chalkboard. It's like a little clip thing. They
I
clip
haven't
on their
seen
apron.
this.
They clip it on their apron like this, and then they write
Ew,
in like a chalk
ew.
pen, like their name.
You know I'd be in trouble because 'cause I'd be writing all kinds of names
Don't
that were
look
not
at
mine.
me.
Look away.
Heathen! My name's Heathen! Don't look at me. I had forgotten that one of the nicknames that who was it who gave it to somebody? Maybe it was my friend Curtis. Somebody called me Frappetta. That was my nickname.
Ooh, that's a
Frappetta.
good one.
Like
That's a good
a
one.
drag name. Hey Frappetta. What's up, girl?
I totally
Oh,
did suck a
jeez.
drag name.
So, Frappetta. Um,
I
yes.
could see you working it. Oof, I'm getting a little overheated about this Starbucks. I gotta fan myself
Oh,
off with a
Lord.
Madame Leota fan, just to say. And going in the wrong
Ghosts
direction.
and goblins from last Halloween.
Yes.
Awaken the spirit with your
That's
tambourine.
me.
Um,
Okay. So anyway, we went to another land.
so
So my
Disneyland.
point my yeah, exactly. So my question to you is
Yes.
my do you think, and we're going to stand by, first of all, why, if they started an alumni, why would they? I just want you to know, I've looked on the LinkedIn. Okay, you go ahead and talk, Jeff. I'm going to pull this
Well,
up. I want to show
I
you.
haven't gotten any emails from the Alumni Association. I only got those 2 for the same day
Oh,
for 2 different things, and then I haven't heard anything. So
that's because
maybe they're not getting the response they want,
let
or
me let me
maybe
let me tell you what they're posting, okay?
oh,
Starbucks alumni community has 8,000 followers now.
oh, it
Did
was
you
only
know
3.
that 2017 hundreds of thousands of people turn over the course, watch the first PSL pumpkin hatch because they're getting ready for pumpkin spice latte. This is where they make all their money, right?
Uh-huh.
So
So
they're
it's advertising.
Yeah, so they're just doing a whole thing about pumpkin spice latte and
Ugh.
and then they're doing like that's what they're talking about. I don't know what this alumni person is. And
So
then
they're
they
using it as a way of advertising
yeah, and they
instead of
just
really
right.
reaching out to people.
Yeah, and then they're talking about Long and Rodney Hines for an inspiring discussion and Q&A in life and leadership beyond Starbucks. So why are they going to these people? Life and Alumni Register here. Starbucks alumni community psychologist. Now they have the science behind a smile. You know what? This is why it's not working, Starbucks. I mean, how
Weird.
fucking out of date is that?
Okay, can we go back to the PSL? I don't call it PSL. I call it the pumpkin spice
Do
latte
you
because I
like
was
it?
raised correctly. I think they're disgusting.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't do it. I knew me and Jeff were bonded for life. I knew we've experienced crazy things together. I knew
They
he
are
was special, but this
nasty.
doesn't.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I
I
tried
don't
it.
get it. I don't get it.
It's just false spices.
Gross.
It's
Ew.
nutmeg and cinnamon. There's no pumpkin in it. It's just a pumpkin spice. That's where they get you. Here,
Let me tell you what I did, Jeff. One day I was like, I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to try to do the basic life. I'm going to go and get a pumpkin
spice
spice
latte.
latte,
hmm
and I'm going to listen to Taylor Swift while I drink it. And I
You
was
just
like,
shake it off.
and
Shake
I
it
was
off.
shaking it off, drinking it, and I was like, oh, okay, this feels like I don't have to think about much and I could just be very lighthearted. I know everyone's going to come for me, but I was like, okay. And then I was like, two things. I don't dislike or actually have anything against Taylor Swift. I feel like
Me neither.
she's kicking ass and doing her thing. Not
Yes.
my like go-to music or
Right.
anything, but I did not like the pumpkin spice latte after the
Mm-mm.
first 3 or 4. I
Yeah.
thought I was and I
Yes.
was like, I can't do it.
There's something about it.
I
Is it
can't do it.
heavy? Is
It's
it
too
sweet?
it's sweet. There's
Is
no
it
coffee
there's coffee, but it's
flavor. There's
like
no flavor of coffee in it.
I
No.
will tell you that one of the other articles you sent me was the new fall menu beverages because they have to put it out in the summer because they want to get it hyped.
There's like a picture of them. There's pictures of them at some Starbucks alumni. And why didn't they invite us? You know why? Because they don't want to hear the goddamn truth. That's why.
You can't handle the truth.
The two first met during the collaboration of Starbucks and Kelsey in the Global Creative Studio. This is what I think. This is just all executives and
You think, yeah.
ex-executives. These are not partners. They
Mm,
don't care about partners.
they don't care about the Joe Schmoes and the Jane Schmoes.
No, no. So
Uh, so the new fall menu
there you go.
drinks.
Yes.
Every year they have to, get into their lab, create their new drinks. One
We
would
were used to be their lab. Okay, go
We
ahead.
used to be their lab. I was trying to think of the other thing that we had besides I'm digressing anyway. Let's go back to the fall menu. So the
Okay.
fall menu drinks, we have the popular PSL pumpkin spice latte, which, as you know, we both not fans. They're having what was it? And I tried it last year. Apple crisp
Oh Lord.
ice latte. Not
Okay.
good.
No.
Not good.
Terrible.
But there was one other one, and of course I can't remember it now. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. The new one was a oat milk one,
Okay.
and it sounded pretty good. I forgot what it was now, of course. Falling, no, that's not it. That's not. Oh, here it is. Hold on. It is a please hold. Salted pecan iced pecan crunch latte oat milk. That might be
Yeah,
okay.
it's a little much.
And a salted pecan cream cold foam.
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. I know we have to start wrapping it up. So
I
here's what I
know.
have to say. This is what I have to say about all of our the research that you've done. I did the research of the article comes to me and then I send it to Jeff and then he puts it together.
Mm.
That's my contribution. But what I have to
That's
say is
called collaboration, people.
yes, it's called partnership. When two people both hate PSL, you know they are meant to be together forever. Anyway, also, I just want to say, why are you making it so complicated? It doesn't have to be that
No,
complicated. Like
no,
flavor doesn't have to be that complicated.
no. It could just be raspberry mochas.
Raspberry mochas. It could be, listen, I told you that I created drinks, and one of the drinks I created was literally this for a fall drink. Don't fucking steal it, Starbucks. I
I
will
was gonna say, are
come
you
for
sure you want
you.
to put
Do
this?
not steal it. Okay, so you just steam cider and
Best.
you get one of those Jolly Ranch
Jolly
caramel
Ranchers.
lollipops, the
Mm-hmm.
caramel covered lollipop Jolly Ranch, and you just stir it until it melts and it makes like this Jolly Ranch caramel
Well, they did
flavor.
have a caramel cider.
I know, but mine had the Jolly Ranch like added to it, so it's like it has the candy-ish. It was so easy. It was so cheap. I would just put the lollipop
Yes,
in the sleeve and hand it, and then it was up to you, and it was fun and
got it.
interactive. That's it.
Interactive.
Interactive, fun, simple. You have something simple. You can even collab with Jolly Ranch. If you want my idea, I've already patented it, and you need to like come for me. So
Here's okay. So
don't
yes,
steal
the
it.
pumpkin spice lattes are disgusting. But can we please? I know it's not that time of year yet, and we have to
Uh-oh.
wrap this up. But the one drink I will never forget because it was such a pain in the ass to make. You love it, and I love it, and I say that facetiously.
Breve,
Nope, the eggnog
eggnog
latte.
latte. I think of it as breve. Guys, everybody, listen,
Nope.
children, gather around, gather around.
Come,
They
children, listen to mother
come,
and father.
children. We have a story to tell you. There, they tried a drink where you had to take eggnog, like pure
They
eggnog,
didn't
because
try it. They did it for many years.
they did for many years. But the thing is, they didn't like, do like a variation of eggnog or it was eggnoggish. It was eggnog. So
Yes,
think of
real
eggnog being
eggnog.
thick. And then we had to pour it in the thing and then
Oh,
steam it.
it was like
And
steaming paste.
it didn't steam well at all. And it was with coffee in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would think if you're gonna do a drink like that, you try to go, oh, let's try to emulate like, a little like
Little
almond or
brandy.
something, a little brandy, have a flavor of that. No, just dump some espresso in there.
Yep.
It was so disgusting.
And it was steam. It would be like,
And it would barely steam.
oh,
It didn't do anything. It was horrible, horrible,
and it was real eggnog. Now,
horrible,
later, then they made a syrup,
which was
like a
gross.
concentrated emulsified
Yeah.
syrup that you could then get non-fat eggnog lattes. Because my favorite was when Tiffany, where's my Starbucks, would be like,
Mhm.
can I get a
Where's my
grande?
Starbucks?
Thank you, Tiffany. Thanks
She's
for
back.
playing the game, Tiff.
She
Uh,
said she
grande,
welcome.
can I get a grande non-fat eggnog latte? And we'd be like, there's no way to
No
make an
non-fat. Yeah,
non-fat
because they
eggnog
didn't
latte.
have any options then.
And they were like, and she was like, "Ah, you can't make it non-fat. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not a chemist. I
We
can't break
can't
it
suck
down.
the non-fat out of there. Okay, I just have to end on a random note for my point.
Mm,
Speaking of Tiffany and,
mm,
and her annoyingness,
Where's
mm.
um,
my
my
Starbucks?
I will say that what made us different to tie us in at the time is that we were very so highly educated about coffee
Oh
that
yes,
that's why a lot of times when they were having us do stuff or people were asking us to do stuff, we were trying to educate, the public. And I will say that like we kind of had that way. So I remember when people would always say make it extra strong, I would always say, like, you can't put more caffeine into coffee. Like, do you want like a shot in
right.
there? And people get so pissed off because they wanted to always come over like, please, can you just give me the strongest? And I'm like, do you want a shot of espresso? So that I would say that because we were always trying to educate people and people didn't know anything, I feel like Starbucks went away from that and they were just
Yes,
like, you know what? People don't get it. It's fine. They don't care anymore. Just give them what they want.
they
Just
don't
put a
want
lot
to
of
educate
sugar,
people.
just put a
Yeah,
lot of whatever. And that's they decided to become more like McDonald's and move away from specialty coffee.
right.
And now, if I want a specialty, like unique coffee experience, I go to a different type of place. That's just the truth. And I don't think they're going to ever be able to go back to that because
Well, bringing this new guy in, the
we'll
whole
see.
hope is that maybe he'll grab the reins and steer it, steer the coach. Another old reference. Steer the Starbucks stagecoach. Yeah.
Okay, we
Howdy,
are
folks.
like really, really going back, Grandma. Steal the
In
coach?
1848, I came to California on a stagecoach with my mother, my father,
Wow,
and
you
my 16 brothers and sisters.
wait, Grandma, how old are you? 1848. I can't do the math.
395 years old.
Damn. Damn.
And my phone, my eyes
Wait.
do not have any phones.
Okay, so okay, so any last words you have of your predictions? I gave my predictions. And what do you think this
Uh,
Mr. Bri is gonna do?
Senior Bry, Bigwig Bry
Yeah.
in Newport. I
Yes.
think he's got quite a task ahead of him. And I'm gonna hope for the best, and the stocks are still holding, which that makes me happy. Sorry, Dayla, I know that's a tough.
It's okay. I'm happy for you. Where's my voodoo doll? Yeah, go ahead.
Fetal position. But I hope that he sort of gets feedback from his partners. I'm not saying us, but maybe what do you think? Where do you think that the disconnect is? Maybe he'll maybe look into some. I'd fill out a questionnaire. I would have.
Mhm.
A
Or
doc.
maybe you could actually listen to a podcast, cuz how many fucking podcasts are about Starbucks? 0.
Look, Brian, we're looking at
Us.
you,
We're the only ones.
and we have some good intel, some good insights,
Mhm.
because we've been there. And now we're customers.
Yes.
And Howard agrees with us. So, Howie, baby, reach
Yes.
back to us.
Howie baby, give us
Call
a
us.
call. Give us a call, Howie baby.
Send us
We're
an
on we're
email.
on your side. We're on your side. Just ring it up. Ring it up. Ring it up. Ring it
Hi,
up.
Howard. Okay. We'll meet at the Starbucks. 10
In Newport
in Newport.
Beach. All right.
All
Well,
right.
we will see. We will keep you posted. We have more other things to, click onto. Probably a little bit more of going into a little bit more of the retro, maybe. I don't know,
Ooh,
but we haven't heard from anyone. No one's emailed us,
so
which is kind of
disappointing.
disappointing.
Did you say we had a review on YouTube?
We had a review. No, I already read that review. I don't
Oh,
think we have a new review,
yeah.
Jeff. I will check.
You said there was
But
a long review on YouTube. I couldn't find it
no,
anywhere.
not a review. Someone just commented.
Oh,
Just did a comment.
I
We
hope it's
are
not
on
bad.
YouTube, so you can watch us. If you want to watch other shenanigans, you can watch us on YouTube as well. If you want to watch instead of listen. No, we don't have a new review, so we need some new reviews. We would love some new reviews. So please go on over to um Apple Podcasts and you can review there. So thank you all for listening. Follow us on
Thank you.
Instagram at When Starbucks Was Fun. Follow us on YouTube When Starbucks Was Fun. Please subscribe to this podcast. Please share. Please tell us your stories. We want to hear from you. You can email us at whenstarbuckswasfun at gmail.
It's not when
And
Starbucks was fun. It's Starbucks was fun at Gmail. No
correct.
when in front of it, people.
Made it that way because I thought it would be too long. Okay, yes, Starbucks was fun at Gmail. And thank you for listening to another episode of When Starbucks Was Fun when we were young.
When the bean was king.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.